What's so bad about our program? What's so bad about it? Like, what's so bad about the worst season that we've had 14 years? How many programs in college football would sign up for one, and only once, 14 years of 9 wins? How many programs would sign up for that? Nothing. We're not perfect, and we may suck this year. We may lay a freaking egg and go 6-6, but I don't think so. Want me gone? If they tired of winning, they can send me on their way, because that's all we've done is win. So if they tired of winning, we've won this league 8 out of the last 10 years. Is that not good? I'm just asking. Is that good? Hey, listen. I mean, if Clemson's tired of winning, they can send me on my way, but I'm gonna go somewhere else and coach. I ain't going to the beach. Hell, I'm 55. I got a long way to go. Y'all gonna have to deal with me for a while. I got a long way to go. I'm just getting going. I'm just now good enough to be a head coach. I'm just now figuring it out. So we'll be around a while. Let's hang in there.
Good morning, SEC. Oh, pressure is the theme. Come on in. Come on in. Step right up. We're going to talk about pressure. I'm going to tell you the 8 individuals that are facing the most pressure going into this weekend of SEC football. That and much, much more on this episode of SEC Hangover. Come on in. Come on in. The water is fine. The cousins have arrived. Nothing like watching Dabo squirm first thing in the morning, is there? Cousin JR's up and at it. I'm telling you what, since them dogs beat my balls, this man is 15 minutes early every single morning. Hey, cuz, I do appreciate you. The legend has gifted Zane Petty. Zane, welcome to the family. Come on in. Oh, my gosh. We got a lot to get into here. We're going to do a little quick recap, news around the league, and then I'm going to let you know, because it's not just coaches. There's players, ADs, mascots maybe. I don't know. A lot of pressure. You're probably wondering, Shane, where are we? Oh, what is this? Is that my hole-in-one? Yeah. I got a hole-in-one the other day. I ain't going to recap this story on every show, I promise, but damn, it was amazing. The conditions were horrible. The wind was right in my face. I had no shot at this thing. Birds everywhere. Made it right there in the hole. But before we get going, let's remind the cousins, we are brought to you by MyBookie. And right now, if you go on over to MyBookie and use promo code SEC, you are going to get a risk-free bet. What does that mean? Risk-free? What does that mean? That means if you place a bet this weekend up to $500, if you win, you get the money. If you lose, you get your money back. That, my friends, is risk-free. And then when you get that money, you're going to sneak on over there to Tennessee Legend Distillery, and you're going to fill up on some fine Tennessee hooch. And I'll tell you what, this has got me through the weekend. Rough weekend. It was a rough weekend. I needed this hole-in-one to get me over this heartbreak. But I will tell you, cousins have come through. I have heard many stories about cousins stopping by Tennessee Legend. I've heard many stories about cousins having Tennessee Legend shipped to their local package store. If you do that, like my cousin will, send your picture on over to thatsecpodcast@gmail.com or send it to my DM, and I will be able to post it. And this week's Tennessee Legend goes to Cousin Will. Let's talk some news, man. You know who's in the news? Always in the news. Used to not be talked about a lot. Them Vanderbilt Commodores and my man Pavia. This article came out earlier this week from Sam, I can't say your last name. Well, Pavia's attorneys is saying that unless the rules are not found to be subject to antitrust, blah, 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 Pavia can play in 2026. Maybe a 7th year there in Nashville. I saw a post this morning, Pavia. He had a blue hat, which means a lot. I have teenagers. I know what that means. So apparently this is Pavia's final year. Unless you don't like his draft stock and he comes back. Speaking of Pavia, Pavia's in the news. Remember this little side note, this little story? You probably weren't paying attention if you weren't watching this Vanderbilt, South Carolina game. But Theo said, basically he's going to take his mom, Pavia's mom, out on a date. And after the game, if they beat South Carolina, they did, Theo says, "Where should I take her?" Well, Diego responded, Theo forgot that it was a deal and only if he told Tate McRae to let me go on a date in Nashville with her. Make that happen. Theo has reached out to Tate. "Hey, Tate, my friend said I could take his mom on a date, but only if he's able to take you on a date. Here's a pic of him." And he sends a picture of Pavia. "If you don't want to go on a date with him, I can also take you on a date." Oh, Theo, do not change, my friend. Do not change. Oh, man, what a hit. Florida Gators, they just keep getting hit. News released yesterday, statement from Greg Sankey that Jabbar got in a fight. Basically, what happened here is the SEC announced that Florida associate head coach and running back coach Jabbar Jalouk has been suspended for 3 games for involvement in altercation before the LSU game. Oh, the hits. They keep coming for those Florida Gators, adding to a little pressure this weekend, especially when you got an assistant coach out. This is, I guess for me, it boils down, and I keep saying it. I don't want to keep saying it. I don't want to keep beating this dead horse, but discipline. It's the kids spitting. It's the penalties. It's now your assistant coaches are out here getting suspended for 3 games for altercations. So it is piling on, and I don't want to keep piling on, but I'm going to keep piling on until Billy does something productive there. So let's jump into it. We got a list here. I got eight coaches that I feel, not just coaches, players, that I feel like have the most pressure coming into this week's. And I know, I get it. A lot of people say, "Hey, man, the schedule sucks, right? Besides Auburn, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Mizzou, Florida, Miami, what is it? What else is there?" I'm telling you, there are some underlying storylines here that if this doesn't happen or that does happen, I feel like some of these teams that maybe not listed in those first 3 spots will be talked about. So let's go to one of those coaches. Number 8, I've got Brian Kelly facing the most pressure this weekend. Now, Shane, LSU didn't even make the list, right? There's no pressure for them LSU Tigers. They're playing some yellow and green Tiger this weekend. There's no reason that Brian Kelly should have pressure. There's pressure. And the reason that there's pressure is because of all the shit talking that's been going on in these press conferences. Remember Brian Kelly coming out, "Don't you ask me about my offense. We just won. What do you want?" Well, Kelly apologized here the other day.
All right. Before I get to the game in Southeast Louisiana, I want to go back to the press conference after the game. I've texted with Mike and offered my apology to him for the way I handled the questioning. I think it's important to understand that, my standards relative to how we work with the media on a day-to-day basis need to be higher, and I take responsibility for that, and I'll be better in the future.
Will you? I don't think so. The reason that there's pressure, the reason I've got Coach Kelly on this list, even though they're playing Southeast nobody, for me, it's about productivity, right? We got all excited about that Clemson win, and it was a big win. It was a massive win. But then you pair that with 2 of the worst offensive performances I've seen while Coach Kelly's been down there in LSU. And this whole time Coach Kelly's been down there, we're like, man, if he just had a defense, LSU is arguably the best defense in the country right now, and now your offense has went to shit. And it's not like this is a quarterback that you're trying to break in. No, this is the same quarterback that had production last year. Oh, with more receivers. Oh, with a better running attack now that they're healthy. So, yeah, there is absolutely a lot of pressure on number 8, Coach Kelly. Now, he's better not lose this game. I mean, he'd shoot way up this list if he lose to Southeast Louisiana, but it ain't going to happen. Same thing, another cupcake game, and this should not be an upset either, but let's don't hide that there's some pressure over there in Austin, Texas. I've got number 7, Arch and Sark, right? I mean, is Texas winning? Absolutely. I mean, the defense, just like LSU, is crushing it. They did against UTEP. San Jose, it felt like that was the step. Like that was the game. There was a few mistakes in there, and, of course, we nitpicked this thing. But then it took a step back against UTEP. And they got Sam Houston this week. We're not expecting Sam Houston to win this game, but Sarkisian's getting some pressure, man. I'm not used to these questions down there in Texas. What's going on with Arch?
Sark, after the game on Saturday, Arch expressed his frustration in himself in seeing the dip in his accuracy. Do you have a story or a memory from a player who you've coached who was really good at something, saw that quality take a dip, and you were able to get him back?
Yeah, I feel good about the process that we're in right now. I thought Arch had a great practice this morning. I think so many times what happens is you can start looking at yourself, beating yourself up, focusing on yourself. Well, it's already hard enough. The other team's already trying to beat you up. The other team's already trying to knock you down. So let's not self-inflict wounds onto ourselves. Let's take some of that frustration and anger out on them, right? Let's kind of go after them rather than go after ourselves, and shift some of the focus, shift some of the anger, shift some of that frustration over there. And I think that he did that today. I thought he did a great job and came out with a great kind of focus and energy about him. That is what I'm accustomed to. And so I anticipate he's going to, right this ship quickly. And that's a credit to the players and coaches around him and helping him do that.
Before we get going, I want to thank cousin Jason James for gifting a membership. This one goes to Walmart McKenna. Walmart, I appreciate you and welcome to the family. If I could figure out how to hide this picture. There we are. Appreciate you, cuz. I appreciate Jason for growing this family. I appreciate that very, very much. Pressure, right? I mean, we're not used to hearing these types of questions down there in Austin. It's always rainbows and butterflies, and we're going to keep winning games. We're going to keep showing up to the college football playoffs. And it felt like all last year, it's like, oh, man, why are we starting yours? Why haven't we pulled yours? Why haven't we put this guy in? And now we're seeing some of these performances, and you start to wonder, maybe Sark saw something that we didn't, because Arch is not playing great right now. I mean, 55% completion rate. This is not what we thought. 6-3 touchdown to interception ratio. Right? This is the guy that's supposed to win a Heisman. This is the guy about to get his ass benched if you don't watch it. And Sark was asked about that.
Coach, last week you talked about taking Colin Simmons out to get his attention. How do you deal with a quarterback when he's struggling? How do you get his attention in game?
You just coach him. That's our job, to coach. And, different scenarios call for different measures, right, of what you need to do. And, I didn't, if Arch was having a bunch of mental errors and not operating the offense well, then that maybe would have required to take him out. I didn't feel like that was the case. Different things require different things to get your point across. And so, we handled it accordingly. We'll handle it accordingly this week and expect them to come out and have a great game Saturday.
I mean, Eddie kind of called this one, right? I keep referencing that because I thought that was one of the dumbest hot takes we heard at Media Days, was that at some point we'd ask if Arch is going to get benched, and then we're sitting here asking, should Arch get benched? And do we think, we know, right? We know the pedigree. We know Texas is going to be fine. They are not going to lose this week to Sam Houston. But there is a lot. And I feel like there's more pressure on Arch in this game than there was the Ohio State game, right? We kind of gave them like, hey, if they go up there to Columbus and they fall short, it's early in the season, right? Working on his chemistry with Wingo and this offense and just getting on the same page. We're not going to be upset if there's a little hiccup, a little bump in the road. But now we're like, we're 3 games into this thing, and there's a couple of cupcakes that we've struggled against, and I'm starting to wonder, who's to blame? Is it Sarkisian? Because, everybody wants to talk Arch. Hell, even Arch comes out here. Somebody asked him, said, is it more mental or physical? This was Arch's response.
Arch, would you say what you're going through right now is more physical or mental?
Probably mental, to be honest. Like, I think I just need to go out there and play my game. I know the type of athlete and type of player I am. Just go cut it loose and have some fun, play ball.
A lot of pressure on them boys. A lot of pressure at that 7 spot. But that means we got 6 that are facing a little bit more. And number 6, I've got Hugh and Arnold. Sounds like a TV show, don't it? Hugh and Arnold are going to have some pressure as well. Mainly Hugh Freeze. I understand, Jackson Arnold is heading back home, right? He's going to get a whole bunch of shit coming in there. There's a lot of pressure on him. But I feel like the biggest pressure is on Hugh Freeze and those Auburn Tigers, right? Because now we're everything's working. We're 3-0. We're looking good. We're going into this matchup, and I feel like if you fall short in this one, they're blaming you. They're blaming you, Coach. And of course, Coach is saying, "Hey, we'll be fine." I've explained it to Arnold. He comes out. Somebody asked him, said, how is Jackson handling it? They're like, what are some things you can do to get Jackson calmed down before this game? Here's Freeze on getting him ready.
It was a challenge for me not to think about some of that. I know the same will be true for Jackson, but he's very mature, and he does not. He doesn't give any credit to any noise or talk. I mean, he's a pro. We all understand that, people might cheer for him, boo him, whatever it is. But I think he's mentally strong and is more about preparing. And my advice to him is, man, just keep the focus on our team. And that was my advice to myself.
And he goes on talking about his opportunity to go back to Ole Miss when he was with Liberty. And of course, they got that win. Let's not forget that. Maybe that's the reference he's using. But, I feel like there's pressure on Hugh Freeze. But there's arguably the most pressure is going to be falling on this guy right here. And that's Billy and DJ. And I put DJ in there. I almost thought about leaving DJ off, but 5 interceptions. I'm going to throw DJ in there. I feel like Billy is the ultimate scapegoat here. Not scapegoat. Shit, he created this problem. Billy is the reason that you're going to get questions like, are you fighting for your damn job here, Coach?
You were here in this position again last year, 1-2. And we asked you, do you feel like you're coaching for your job at this point?
Yeah, no, I think I'm trying to solve problems. I think you're trying to find the right combination of things to help. And look, I mean, we're a handful of plays away from winning that game Saturday. So I think you got to try to be as objective as you can, and you got to get consumed with how you help the players. How do you help the players improve? How do you help position the players in a little bit better spot here or there, and keep the human element intact? That's the really important part. So, I do think. In my opinion, a man is not defeated until he blames someone else, right? So I think it's key, for us to, evaluate what we can do, every individual within the team and organization to contribute and help us.
It is my thoughts that, come on, Coach, what are we doing here? Hell yeah, you just embrace it. Right? And the reason I don't have Billy higher on this list, you would think Billy would be like under the ultimate pressure, because I got a bet with Mike. They lose to Miami this weekend. He's fired this weekend. That's what I feel like happens. They got a bye week next week. Mike says it's crazy talk. We got a side bet and everything going on to that. But that's where we're at. So I feel like the pressure's kind of off a little bit, because now you just have to win, right? If you win, we'll see. We're as is, right? But if you lose, I mean, you're done, right? The Florida Gators, we're in the meat of the schedule now. Hell, they done tripped up on 2 of the easier ones. And I'm not saying LSU's easy, but I feel like there was a lot of Florida fans feeling like they could have got him. And if you watch the game, it took 5 interceptions, and you're thinking to yourself, maybe they could have had him. Maybe they are that close.
You know, I think that they're a group that knows how they're that close. Like we got to, all parts of our team have to go play at a high level, given who we're playing, right? And I think that's where we're seeking that. And I think they know that, we know that, you know that, and I think that a lot of our guys are doing a heck of a job, man. I mean, so yeah, we're close to being pretty dangerous in my.
Pretty close. We're pretty close to being dangerous, ain't we? Them Florida Gators. Jeez Louise, you're 1-2, Billy. You're 1-2, and I will say this. You beat Miami. Texas looks beatable right now. I mean, this would be classic Florida Gators right here. You like we're getting the buyout money all together. We're sending Billy on, and then they just go on a tear. I mean, that just feels like 2024 at the end of the season. Could it happen? Absolutely. But it needs to be this guy. And in fact, there's another question. I don't have time to show the clip here, but DJ, they were asking basically, when are we going to get some backups in this game? That's where we're at. DJ's actually looking healthy. He's not playing well, but we thought if DJ wasn't on the football field, it was because of an injury. I never in my mind thought that DJ would ever get benched, and he's not going to get benched, but that's why they have so much pressure. But number 4, I've got to give it to Brent, right? Everything is good. Oh my gosh, everything's so good in Oklahoma. We beat Michigan. Everybody's taking notice of our quarterback. John Mateer's playing out of his damn mind. He could potentially win a Heisman. Everything is going smooth. Unless a quarterback that you couldn't do anything with goes down to Auburn, pairs up with Hugh Freeze, comes into town, and beats you. Now, if that happens, a coach we're not really talking about pressure moves right up this list because that's how important this is. Oklahoma's back, right? Oklahoma is back. They're 3-0. They're looking good. There's no reason the Sooners can't win at all. But if you drop to Auburn, this guy is back on the list, back in the hot seat. A lot of pressure on Venables. I didn't have anything worth of note in his press conference, but it is worth noting that if they win, man, it's like a pivotal, it's like a swing game here. It feels like if Brent wins this thing, it would not blow my mind if they have a successful season and they end up giving him extension at the end of the year. Because I told Mike, I feel like this Auburn-Oklahoma game is a classic somebody's lying to me. Is Oklahoma truly back? Are they a great football team? Or is Auburn back, And I feel like whoever wins this game, the guy that loses is going to be right back in that hot seat. So, speaking of hot seat, oh my gosh, there ain't a seat hotter in the country right now than my man Sam Pittman. He's at number 3. He's not even at number 1. He's at number 3. Now, to be fair, I didn't see these clips come out, but Yurachek, he was at the touchdown club, made a few comments. He's very excited about the sports there in Arkansas, all but one.
I think we're doing just fine at the University of Arkansas, and I think we're set up to win a national championship in men's basketball moving forward. We know we're set up to win a national championship in baseball moving forward, and I think we're set up in several other sports to win a national championship. Football, where we are right now, we're not set up to win a national championship. I'll just be brutally honest with that. But I think we're set up to compete really well in the Southeastern Conference, especially now with the new revenue sharing model.
Damn. Why you got to be like that? And I get it. Listen, Sam's had every opportunity. But you want to talk about the last dance? You're in it right now. And I felt like after that game, because we didn't talk about Arkansas first 2 games because they're cupcakes. They destroyed them. But then that Ole Miss, everybody's kind of got their eyes on that one, right? And what happened? You get within a one possession, you get within a score, and Sam Pittman does what Sam Pittman's been doing. And I love Sam Pittman. I can't say it enough. But it doesn't help when your AD out here trying to get money is out here telling you, says, we ain't got it. We just don't have it. And now part of the reason I think he felt that way was this NIL world, because that ain't all Hunter said. Hunter's talking about the reason that Arkansas is not competing at the elite level of some of these other SEC schools in the portal and the NIL world is because they're doing things the right way. But there's some teams out there doing it the wrong.
But we have some schools that have decided to find a third lane, which I will call illegitimate NIL. And what we have right now in college athletics is we have a speed limit, but the signs haven't been posted on the interstate, and there's not a trooper that's patrolling. And so let's all raise our hands. If you're driving down I-40 and the speed limit's 55, but you know there's not going to be a trooper out that day, how many are going 65? Right? That's what's happening in college athletics right now. And so you have to decide as an athletic director, are you going to get out in this lane that you know you're not supposed to be in and operate without the highest level of integrity, or do you want to stay in these two lanes? And that's where the rub is coming right now in college athletics. Until we get our enforcement agency up and running, you're going to continue to have schools operating in that third lane, and that's a bad place to be, in my opinion. It's bad for college athletics. And I don't want to operate there, but I think to be competitive, we may have to figure out what that third lane looks like for the University of Arkansas.
Pressure. And I think the biggest one for me is you can't overlook this game, right? We haven't really talked about Memphis. The only thing that has come out of Memphis is their coach making a joke at the Georgia players down there, which I've got right here. We're going to play it. Coach Silverfield talking about them speed traps down there in Athens.
Sure, and we do this all the time, but generally on a Sunday afternoon when we meet with the team, we do two things, and we always start off with not our standard. We always start with a negative, and the not our standard is Georgia wide receiver, right, arrested for driving 900 miles per hour over the speed limit, right? That's a weekly occurrence. So that's one of those, like, we'll show.
Damn, coach. They're always recording. You got to be careful if you're coming to the SEC, which this man's on a couple short list. Hell, I think Arkansas at this point would like to have this guy. They may just swap coaches because Sam Pittman, I mean, it's for me, it's the big games. It's the marquee games. You barely win them. And then when you do get in some of those close matchups, 9 times out of 10, not to get Hugh Freeze, but 9 times out of 10, we are dropping those close matchups. So I always felt like Sam would be one of those guys that says, hey, at the end of the season, I'm gone. But if your AD's out here saying this and you're starting to see coaches fired across the country, you got to be careful. You lose to Memphis. This is why you're on the list. This is why you're so high up the list. Not only potentially going to get fired, but if you're just a touchdown favorite with Memphis. And when you look at the schedule, this game is super scary. I mean, it's a scary place. You're going to Memphis. It's sandwiched between Ole Miss and Notre Dame. Nobody's talking about Memphis right now. They're talking about Hunter because he made those comments, but nobody's thinking about this as a loss. Sam loses this weekend. Sam loses his job. I'm telling you right now. Number 1 and 2, I put together Shula and Shane. Right? I mean, let's not sugarcoat this one. I mean, Beamer's not losing his job, so calm down. Don't write it on your board, Coach. I'm just saying there's a lot of pressure on those Gamecocks coming into this. And everything I see, I mean, I'm just like you. I'm a fan. Everything I see, they want to blame one guy, right? And I get it. Listen, not to go back in time, not to mention this man, but in 2022, there was a quarterback at Tennessee named Hendon Hooker. Now, we did not win a playoff. We didn't even make the playoffs, but there was just so much explosive offense that the fans we're back, baby. South Carolina did the same thing. And then, like Tennessee, we took a step back. 2 years, we couldn't give the shit away, right? I feel like that's what's wrong with South Carolina, is you have experienced elite football. Smash mouth defense, explosive offense. You were sold a bill that Lenore Sellers is the best quarterback in the damn country, and we're not seeing it on the football field. So we have to blame somebody. And Shane Beamer says, it ain't me. I know there's a conspiracy about Lenoris. Trust me, I'm giving him the ball.
We're good. I don't know what conspiracy theories are out there, but I've never said, and no one in this building has ever said, we need to run the quarterback less. Like, I hear all this crap about they're not running the quarterback enough. We're calling the same goddamn plays we called last year, guys. And we're not saying we need to run Lenoris less. I'm not getting on you, Jack. I know there's like this conspiracy theory going back to the bowl game that we see it don't run Lenoris as much. We're running Lenoris plenty. And some of those are reads where Lenoris can hand it or pull it and keep it. Some of those are RPOs.
Blah, 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 blah. That's all I hear. Words, words, words. We need to see it. We need to see it. And you've got such a tough game. You're going to Columbia, Missouri. You're playing a team that you beat last year, and the fans are expecting you to win this year, just like they do every single season that you play Mizzou. And if you play like you did against Vanderbilt, odds are you're going to lose by multiple scores. If you wake up, which I feel like there was a little fiery in this pressure. If you wake up and you make this a ball game, potentially even win this thing, I think you set yourself up perfectly to get back on track. The pressure comes down to those two guys right there, Shane Beamer and my man, Mr. Shula. Listen. I'm not saying anybody's getting fired, but I'm telling you right now, there is no more pressure than that duo coming into this game. Because if you drop it, you want to talk about getting ugly, it gets ugly real fast. But I don't want to end on a negative note. Just remember, some good things happen. I'm driving home the other day, and I'm looking at these people in their car as they're passing by, and I'm like, I bet they didn't get a hole-in-one today, right? I go to the grocery store to pick up a few things, the pizza for the weekend, and I'm like, I bet that guy didn't get a hole-in-one today. Hey, keep swinging. That's what I'm saying. You will find it. And Cousins, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. We're 30 minutes closer to football. If you would give this a thumbs up, that would be appreciated. We are going to be on tonight with mailbag. So if you haven't got your mailbag questions in, try to get that in before lunch. Food questions appreciated, because we talk enough football sometimes. But I look forward to seeing everybody tonight at 7 o'clock. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. If you need any bail money, call me.
Hey, buddy, this beer's for you, Mike, and Cousin Shane. That SEC podcast loves the Pirate, and the Pirate loves that SEC podcast. Hail State.